Focus Warrior Podcast, John and Aaron, my brother. Feels like forever since I talked to you, man. How you doing, bro?
It has been forever. No, man, good, bro. Good. It's been a really good week. It's been a good week. You know what? And this is the first episode that we have recorded in a couple of weeks because you were on holiday, and I made a few changes within my business structure. So it's been, you know, it's good. It's good. Feeling good, brother.
I
Feeling good.
love it.
What about you, man? What's up?
Same, bro. Same. But I will say, I mean, holiday was good. It was a nice little reset, needed, much needed for sure. And came back, hit the ground running. Had to shake the cobwebs off, man. Something about being on a holiday, bro, where you're like, I'm not ready yet. I don't want to come back to reality yet. But once you get going again, it's pretty cool, man. And I will say there was when I came back that following week, there was a little bit of going back and forth with a conversation with myself on whether or not I wanted to just wait it out for a couple more days. And I'm like, no, no, got to get to work. And so I got back to my content, got back to my business, got back to everything I needed to straight away, did not wait. And so we're back at it,
Interesting.
man. Feeling good.
Interesting. So that mindset, was that the mindset of your corporate mindset or was that the mindset of an entrepreneur?
I think it was corporate for sure.
Uh,
I went right back to work. I not like I took any days off from that, but it was more of just tugging at me. I'm telling you, Aaron, and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but you get to a certain level with your mind where it's non-negotiable,
yeah.
but then you get these little, I don't know, these little jabs in the side where you go, it'd be really nice to have one more day off. You know what? Maybe it won't be that bad if I just and then as soon as that conversation started stirring up, man, I shut it off and I went to work.
Have to.
I said, you know what? I said I would do it. I know I don't feel like doing it, but now I got to do it. So still got it done, bro. And honestly, I'm happy because the momentum carried me into this weekend. So I'm
Yeah.
happy about it, bro.
No days off when you're working for yourself, bro. No days off.
100%.
All right.
100%.
All right. We've had an interesting conversation offline, and we've got something really fucking cool
Yes.
to share. Um And you know what? I'm just going to bring it out here anyway. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be joining forces. How it's going to work, we haven't kind of worked out the how, but and again, the name it's all going to come. However, Focus 20 Coaching and Warrior Shed Coaching are joining forces. We're going to come to you guys with a pretty fucking epic program. We're both really excited about this. It's going to be an online format. It is going to be group format. It is going to be Zoom meetings. Did we say once a week? We did say once a week,
We
didn't we?
did say once a week. Yep.
So as you see, guys, this is a really hot topic. It's something we just discussed. We believe that the value that we both offer in our respective programs would work really well if we join forces and bring you guys an elite program, an elite mindset program, an elite program to do with training and nutrition. Like I said, the how, we haven't figured out the how, but we just know that there's a space for it. We know that it will be an absolute value to every single one of you guys that are listening and watching, but I can't wait to bring it to you. So the official launch date is going to be June 1. There's going to be a whole heap of information that both John and I will be sharing. And obviously with our episode next week for this podcast, we'll have the details about the program. So it's coming. It's coming. I can't wait. It's literally going to be the elite program, and it is going to be well worth it. It's going to be affordable because at the end of the day, John and I want to hit the masses. And John and I, with the journey that we've both been through, fuck, let's go back a decade, probably even 2 decades, the journey that both of us have been on. Yeah, there's a lot to share. There's a lot of value to bring, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to tell you all about it. So. Get excited. Get excited.
Love the plug, bro. It's on. It's happening. Super excited to bring all, like you say, so much experience, and I'm
Mm.
in, man. So it's gonna be fire, and I believe this is gonna be game changing for a lot of people. So if you want early access, get at us, send us a DM, get on the early mailing list. We can get you
Yeah.
fired up right away.
Yeah, definitely DM for now. So let's go. All right, bro,
Let's
what's for dinner?
do.
What's for dinner?
Oh,
What's for dinner, brother?
what's for dinner? Which, by the way, is the title of the podcast tonight, bro. Listen, man, I brought this to you earlier in the week, and it drives me absolutely crazy when this happens. But, wherever you're at in your household, wherever you're at, I have so many different angles to go on this, but starting off really, really simple with what's for dinner. You ever had that question? What's for dinner? And then what? I feel like pizza. I don't feel like pizza. I feel like chicken. Well, I don't want chicken. We just had chicken yesterday. I don't want, dude, that drives me crazy when that happens, bro. And so, does that happen to you? let me not get crazy with this. Does that
I'm
happen to you?
okay. I'm going to go back to what I used to do. And what I used to do as a husband was go to the wife, what's for dinner? And I'm like, mate, you weak. That's a weak, that was the weak meat. And why I say the weak meat is that, dude, she's not your fucking mother. She's your wife to start
Oh,
with.
yeah.
You know, because as a child, that's what we always did. We always went to mom, what's for dinner? It's like you're still doing
Yep.
that as a grown adult. What the fuck, bro? So I
Yeah.
look at it now, and yeah, I would never go now, especially like in the last decade, I'd never go to my partner and go, hey, what's for dinner? I would literally turn around and say, all right, we're doing this for dinner, or dinner would already be served for me. So the it's a different dynamic now. So like if my partner and we're living together and if we hadn't organized anything, then I'd be going, all right, cool, I'm going to be making this. Or it's like, nah, let's do something special. Let's celebrate. I'm going to take you out for dinner. So me being the man, having that leadership masculine role is like, all right, I'm going to take not control. I'm just going to take charge. So
It's a good way to put it.
yeah. So if there's any guys that are listening to this, if there's any ladies that are listening to this, and your husband comes up to you and goes, "What's for dinner?" It's like, what the fuck are you? Like, you're literally his mum.
Dude, and you know what I think it is? I think what it is, Aaron, too, bro, is I love coming from this angle because I think what we're saying here is you got to communicate,
Yeah.
not not ask the question, but communicate. Like what you just said, Aaron, is it's two ways this could go. Here's me taking charge. For dinner, this is what we're gonna have. Or, dude, and I love when this happens. Love it when this happens. If I come home, or the wife says, "Hey, I've already got dinner cooking." Best thing ever, man. And this is not, I mean, this for those people listening that are like, oh, this is not the fucking, the olden days
Oh,
where fucking women were just in the kitchen. It's not what we're saying.
no.
Bro,
You know,
that's not what
okay.
we're saying, bro.
No,
It's not
because
this is not what we're fucking saying.
not at all. Not at all. Because there's a lot of ladies out there that their love language is acts of service or like giving. And food for a lot of females is like, this is my way of showing you that I actually love you and I care for you. All this fucking
Yeah.
my role in the kitchen, fuck off. Like, jeez.
So, all right. So we're kicking it off this way, Aaron. But as you know, you and I are all about mindset. We're all about leadership, right?
Yeah.
Think about leadership. And I want to give you one more angle, dude. I was at the coffee shop a couple weeks ago, standing behind this guy, and I already ordered ahead, so I was just picking up. Guy in front of me goes up and he looks at the menu, starts having a conversation with the barista, and then he goes, I want, and he stood there for a minute and he goes, what do you suggest? And they had a conversation, Aaron.
Fucking
So
hell.
once again,
Hang on, is this in a takeaway window?
you are giving your power to somebody else to make the decision for you.
Is that
It's the
like in a
same type of thing.
is that on a counter or is that in like a takeaway window, like a pickup window?
So it was like a pickup window, bro. But I mean, that's just this particular service or this particular coffee shop was outdoors and they have a window you walk up and you order and they serve you there. It's an everything window, if you will, right?
Right. Yeah.
But dude, I mean, again, Aaron, I guess the biggest point of that is you're now giving you're giving everything away to somebody else to make the decision for you.
Yeah.
That's what you just said about what we were talking about earlier. What's for dinner? You're putting that off on somebody else. What do you want?
That's
And
such a weak
the
mindset.
thing about ordering, bro, is you're afraid to make the decision because what if I order the wrong thing and I don't like it? And Bro, all that stuff, you got to put that aside, man. What do you want?
Yep.
Tell us
Uh,
what you want. What am I making the decision for?
And you know what? That's also people not taking responsibility of their actions as well. It's like, yeah, and look, I'm going to kind of go from a couple of angles. The first one I want to say is that if I've ordered a takeaway coffee and I can see my fucking coffee there, I'm going to be butting in and I'm going to go, excuse me, got to pick up my coffee because I don't want a fucking cold coffee for a start. It's like, that'd be the first thing. I would have been butting in and going, bro, I'm just going to pick up my coffee. Sorry. You know, I'll just be butting in. Like, fuck you. You're just being a dumbass. Like I'm not here to waste time, and I do not want to be drinking a cold coffee. But the other side of it as well that you've seen there's a lot of people, and I come from this message all the time, is that no one can save yourself but you. And there's a lot of people that are looking for a savior externally, looking for someone else to help them. So if you cannot make a decision and you're relying on someone else to help you make a decision, you can't own your shit. Like you can't own the responsibility of your own actions. And that's again another problem with the world, which we can have a conversation with later, that there's no consequences to people's actions these days. Hence why the world's so fucking chaotic. So like, but let's diverse from there and let's kind of get back on track with this conversation. And I look at it is that when it comes to business, you can wishy-washy and you can, see what other people are doing and you can either do what other people are doing and hope to get the same result, but you're not because you're not them. Or you can just make a decision and go, all right, well, if this works, it's great. I'm going to own my shit. I'm going to own my decisions and I'm just going to go for it. And this is the difference between, the men of the world. I'm going to come from a man's perspective when it comes to the builders and the guys that know what they want, they know what their purpose is. They already know what decisions they need to make. And if it's a bad decision, it's like, fuck, I'm going to own my shit. And when it comes to, the topic of conversation with dinner, the topic of conversation when you're going to a takeaway place and you don't know what you're ordering, get the fuck out of the way. Because all you're doing is you're holding up other people behind you that are here building shit, wanting to get stuff done, and are busy as well. Like if you're standing in front of a window, or if you're at a takeaway place and you don't know what you want to order, it's like there are people there behind you that fuck, I don't even know where I'm going to go with this. Mindset's all gone. But there's people there that
Well,
are, yeah, anyway, you kind of,
no, I think, Aaron, this is what I would say, bro. And on top of what you're talking about is when we're talking about making a decision, it's on you. And most people don't like that. And so, for example, when we talked about what's for dinner earlier, here's the thing. As a leader, you take in all the feedback, right? When you're at home with your significant other, you're taking in all the feedback, right? I don't feel like this. We had this the other night. We had that in the other night. So then in my mind, I go, okay, all that being said, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to go get. You cool with that? You want something else? Now's the time I'm walking out the door. I'm not waiting for another 25 minutes to come to an agreement on what we want. We've got things to do. We've got to go. It's no different than in the household than it is in business.
mm,
Dude, the second you hesitate in business, somebody rolled you over.
yep,
Somebody just mowed you over and they took off and they made the deal. Where you and your team were still sitting there worried about what's going to happen, what should happen, and this is the thing, Aaron, when we try to control that, what's going to happen, what happens? You can't because you're not a future teller. You don't know what's going to happen. So the reason why people are getting nervous to make decisions is because they've already thought about X, Y, Z and A, B, C and D, E, F and everything else in between, right? I'm trying to protect everything. So I'm going to make this scared decision, but it's covering all bases. But is it? Or is it you just making coming from a scarcity mindset of going, well, if I make this, we could screw ourselves over. So then don't make that decision. What's the alternative decision? What's the decision we got to make? And Aaron, like you say, man, well, you got to own it. The problem is most people don't want to own their decision,
yep.
right? But I think what it is, man, is that the quickest you can make that decision is the quickest you're going to get to success.
Yeah, and that's that internal belief as well, isn't it? And hearing you what you were saying before about making that decision. I remember like when I was a young kid, the insecurities, weren't really sure of myself. Like I was never really confident with who I was. Therefore, if I had to make a decision, I was always what the other person wanted to do because I didn't want to either look like a dick, I didn't want to sound like a dick, I didn't want to, and especially if you're going after a woman that you're trying to hit on them, the you're doing and saying everything that you need to make for them. It's not for you because everything you're saying, everything you're doing is that you're doing it for other people. You're saying it for other people. You want them to be happy. It doesn't matter what you're feeling. It doesn't matter if that's what you want to do or not. All you want to do is you just want to get laid. And if you're married, all you want to do is that you don't want to cause conflict. So all it is like, yeah, what do you want to do? And as a man, it's like always passing on to the female. Well, what do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to go. You don't want to sound like a dick. You don't want to come across as, saying something that they're going to come back at you with. So if you turn around and say, "Oh, I feel like I'm having a steak," and if a female or your partner turns around and says, "Oh, we had that yesterday," or it's like, "Oh, you're always having steak," it's like, "I don't feel like steak," and it's like, "Well, fucking, I want a steak." So you're either going to stand in your power, you're going to stand in, this is what I want to do, and hey, cool, I'll help you. Like it's actually really interesting. I was married to an Italian, and being married to an Italian, what do they love? Risottos and pasta. Bro, I blew out to 120 kilo when I was married to an Italian. But at the same time, also, it's like this decision was always really easy. But how many times when I sat down at the dinner table and we were cooking dinner, or I got home from work and dinner was already there and it was pasta all the time. And going being a Kiwi and like, it's just constantly pasta. Part of me was like, oh, fuck pasta again. But the other part of me as well is like I was grateful that I was actually getting dinner from my beautiful wife. So I was lucky. But then with what
I
you're
think,
yeah, bro. Sorry, man. You go.
yeah, bro. I was just gonna say, all I was gonna say to them is, I just think that people got to realize that we're not saying make a decision, get over it. You're gonna like what I like. You're gonna do what I do. It's not that.
No, no, no.
I want to be very clear. It's not that. It's just that when you know what you want, you make the decision. And that's just what it is. And I'm not talking about just in the home life, because what that happens is it translates out into the world. Hence the reason why I was standing behind somebody for 10 minutes while he had a full-blown conversation about what he wanted, because he gave all his power to the barista to make the decision for him. Well, what's your favorite thing? What do you do? And you don't realize that's not a nice thing. You're being not being nice. You're actually putting all, it might be a young kid that's like, oh my gosh, this full-blown adult is asking me what I should order for them. I don't want that power. I don't want to make that decision for them. They make their own decision, right? And I just think that again translates to business as well. You know, you've weighed out all the options, you've took some time, and you go, you know what? Here's the decision I'm going to make. We're not going to go through with that deal. And bro, I did a reel on this too, Aaron. You don't have to explain why.
Mm, mm.
You don't have to explain why. You just know what you want. You make the decision and you move on. Because the second, you know what happens there when you explain yourself? Well, here's why I came to that conclusion. And this is what I think we should do. Now it's you're losing all the power of the decision that you made by
What?
explaining yourself.
Yeah. Why? Because you hurt someone's feelings?
Because you hurt someone's feelings, because you don't want to make
Uh,
everybody mad, so you have
or
to make everybody happy.
or you're trying to justify yourself in a decision that you made,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. And so I think that's why I came to that, this week, Aaron, it happened and I was just like, you know what? Let me just do it. And you know what? It turned out to be the best night because I just did it. I didn't wait. I didn't talk about it. I started feeling like I was talking about it. I'm telling you, Aaron, those little jabs come back at you and you find yourself shrinking back. You're like, wait a minute, not who I am anymore. Here, look, this is what I feel like tonight. Here's here's what's by there. Do you want that? Yeah, sure. Okay, no problem. Let's go. Be back in 20 minutes. Dinner served. We're good. Or I feel like some chicken. So you know what? We got chicken in the fridge. Let's hook up some chicken.
Yeah,
Is that what you want? Cool. Yep, that's what I want. No problem. Do you want a tea? I'll go grab us some teas. Boom, done. We're in. It's just joining forces, Aaron. But you know what? Until you move the needle, you'll talk to your blue in the face about the decision that you want to make.
I agree. Now, I'm going to highlight a point that you made before. It's like we're not here, you know, saying that, hey, I'm the boss, you do as I say. We're not saying that at all. Like
No.
if you're taking what we're saying and you are thinking that that's the message, then you're misunderstanding what we're saying here. We're saying you just be, it's not the controller. All it is just be certain in your decisions and just own your decisions.
Boom.
Own what it is you're going to say. So if
Boom.
you're that type of guy that it's like you're going to now all of a sudden take it to the extreme level and use it as I'm the man, you do what I tell you, and what I say goes. If you're that, then fuck off.
Right.
Like
Because it's
literally
the wrong mindset.
fuck off.
The
If you're
wrong
doing it,
mindset.
yeah, if
So
you're
yeah,
doing that,
brother. I
that's not
mean,
what
dude, this one didn't
narcissism.
have to be long at all, Aaron, but I just, you know,
Yeah, no, and it look, I'm really excited with what we've got coming. The message today was just, don't. What it's a little bit like that. Mel Robbins with the 5 second rule. No different with the mindset thing. Like when a decision comes to you, own it. Like speak it, put it out into action, and just get on with it. Don't second guess yourself. Like, because that's what we tend to do a lot is that we second guess ourselves based on, what other people are going to be thinking around us. And it's like, no, own it. Like if you're coming from a good place, there's nothing that's going to come back at you. So yeah, I'd say just own your shit. Stand in your truth, stand in the truth. And when you've got purpose in life and when it comes to business decisions, you're just going to do what you need to do anyway. And then when it comes to a relationship, just be kind, communicate, just be that, remember why you guys got together in the first place. And what is that? So I think that we overcomplicate things too much. Other people are walking around self-entitled, thinking that their shit doesn't stink and they're the most important things in the world. Let them be them. You just get on with your day and get on with the your life. And if you've got someone in front of you that's getting the barista to order your meal, and you can see your fucking coffee's in the back, just like bump them out of the way. Hey, I'm just here to pick up my coffee. It's like. Man, we complicate things too much in life, I tell you.
that's it. That's it, brother. Well said, bro. I don't have nothing to follow up on that, man. I'm just everybody look out for the powers that be here joining forces. It's going to be epic. We're going to have more details next week. And that launch date, June 1st, get on the list, send us a DM, let us know you're in. We're happy to work with you. It's going to be a powerful, powerful new program we're putting together. So, brother, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for this. This conversation is going to hit. I think a lot of people are going to have some comments to say about it, and we're here for all of them. So, thank
Yep.
you, my brother.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate it, stud. And happy Mother's Day to everyone in Australia as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Absolutely.
your time.
Take care.